The amount of times I've been asked if I feel like an idol, and I'm like, no, no,
Or a feminist icon. That's one that
yeah.
always gets people in
I'm
my.
like,
You've got to constantly consolidate your feminism with every piece of music that you make. That's a lot to think about. Men don't have to think about that at all. It is no secret that the music industry is heavily dominated by men, and getting to the top as a woman is no easy feat. So, what is the reality of being a woman in music? This is the Female Forum. I'm here with 5 incredible rising stars. We've got Maisie Peters, Mae Muller, Jade Bird, Alical Harley, and Dodie. Welcome, everyone. I want to explore your relationship with music making now. What is your connection with the female fans who relate to you, who relate to your experiences, who are listening to your records in the same way that you were listening to the records of the people who came before you? Is it a special bond that you have with your fans?
Oh, 1,000,000%. I think, I'm sure like you guys will all share this view. It's literally such a huge part of the reason why I even make music. And I think obviously at first, we all have our shit, and that's probably how we ended up writing, is like, I don't know how to get these feelings out. I'm feeling alone. I'm like, am I the only one that's feeling like this? I'm going to write it down. And then you do, and you sort of put it out to the world, not really thinking anything of it. And then you get these people that are just like you going, no, I feel that actually. And you've kind of helped me deal with what I'm dealing with. And then it becomes this much bigger thing. And it's like, oh, okay, this is actually not really about me at all. This is about like us just as people and as humans. So when I realized that it was kind of, I could reach people like that, it kind of changed the whole like meaning of writing and being an artist.
Do you feel a power or responsibility to use your voice in any particular way?
I think there's this pressure on female artists to write like empowering songs that I think is like so unfair, because like I've had songs written in the past where I've been like really picked apart for them and really attacked is maybe the wrong word, but because they it's like they paint a toxic relationship, or it's not like a responsible message for young people. And I think like, when do men ever get told that? When do men ever get told like, what's your empowering anthem? Or like, do you try and make music? Are you trying to make music for other young women? And I'm like, well, yes, but I think it's like so unfair that there's like a whole part of human experience that if you write about it as a woman, you get told that you're like setting a bad example, which I think is not good. And there's like a responsibility that it's like you're personally responsible for making music that your fans.
You're so right. Yeah. The amount of times I've been asked if I feel like an idol, and I'm like, no, no,
Or a feminist icon. That's one
Yeah.
that always gets people in
I'm
my.
like,
You've got to constantly consolidate your feminism with every piece of music that you make. That's a lot to think about. Men don't have to think about that at all.
God, yeah, the songs on my next album are like pretty promiscuous and about like shameful moments. And like, I've been asked like, are you sure you want to release that? And I'm like, yes, because it's a part of the human experience and the female experience. Like, not every song has to be immoral. Like, sometimes art is just exploring art and the messy parts of life. And yeah, I have so much fear for what I'm going to be asked like that song is about. And I shouldn't, because men wouldn't. Men write about being a slut all the time.
Well, it's not immoral to have sex, but you will be asked, what kind of example are you setting? Whereas if a man sings about having sex, they're never going to be asked that question, what example are you setting? Because no one would even think twice about the fact that they do it and it's natural and it's normal and it's fine. To round things off, I would just like to ask you about the future, right? For women in the music industry, where we're heading, what it's going to look like in a perfect world. What does an ideal version of the music industry look like in terms of female representation? Maisie, I'll come to you first. Sorry, I keep doing that. I'm so sorry.
Every time I'm like, okay, again, why not? I mean, I would love to see. I'd love to talk about this less. In the most wonderful way, and this has been like one of my favorite hours of recent memory. I've had such a great time, but I would also love it to not be a conversation. I'd love there to be more women women producers, more women in record labels, more women everywhere. I think more female directors, niche, but like I think that's the thing I've noticed definitely. I just more women everywhere, please.
Festival
Thank you.
bells.
Festival.
Yes,
Oh god,
yes.
Oh my god,
Like,
you remember
why?
that Reading and Leeds poster? Oh
Why?
my lord.
Every year.
Like, make it make sense. Explain it to me. And it's always amazing when they do fans will make a festival lineup with just women on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, but this isn't a joke. Like, why is this a joke? Like, this is very easily a festival I would go to. It's also not even, this people left off this list.
And it can be done because I went to Primavera whenever the last Primavera was, and they literally do a 50-50 split. And so it's like, hello, here it is.
Yeah. And no one's suffering.
No.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time, and it was a great festival, and I would definitely go again. So like, what's the excuse? I don't know. So yeah, what Maisie said, more women everywhere.
I'd also pay attention to the font on the festival lineups. I found that very interesting. There's one I've just been put on where me and another lady's name is smaller on the same line as a band's name, fronted by like white blokes. And I'm like, that's pretty interesting.
What the heck?
Yeah. And you know what? My mum pointed it out. I didn't even notice. My mum was like, do you think it's weird that your name's like smaller, you and this other woman's name is smaller? And this other guy is bigger, not on different lines. You know what I mean? Like on the same line. So I'm just like, especially Reading and Leeds was so disappointing because it's a rock festival. And what they're saying is the bigger narrative. They're saying there's no rock musicians to put on there. There's no rock female fronted musicians to put on there. And I'm like, that's kind of old to me now. And there's so many I could have thought of. You know, so many people were like listing and they're like, and then you get the comments being like, well, they're not rock music. And I'm like, well, neither is, you know, X male. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm so done with that. Just implement a 50-50 split and be done with it kind of thing.
Dodie, if you could think about the worst aspects of your experiences, imagine you've got the power, right, to just fully banish any one thing from the industry. What would you get rid of?
Oh my god, I don't know. That's such a huge question. I think the narrative that women are not legit as artists, as producers, as business people. I would love the sort of tokenship feminism to be eradicated, and for everyone to just understand that women really should own this industry because they are killing it, and for everyone to recognize that having more women in conversations, in sessions, as a part of every process is always better and always welcome, and to just make an active effort to outsource, because it's really not hard. There are plenty of talented women.
Knowing what you all know now, having gone on the journey that you've been on but are still on, what advice would you give to your younger selves, or to any little girl who's looking at the industry and looking at your music, looking at your videos, sitting in their room with their eyes closed like I used to when I was growing up, with my headphones in and just like listening so intently? What would you tell them?
Ukulele is a legit instrument. Never let anyone tell you it isn't. Wear your flower crowns. Sing your best joy.
I would definitely stay true to who you are. Stay true to who you are, and follow your gut feeling as well. That's what I would say to my younger self, and to any young woman. Don't let them plant seeds in your head. Stay true to who you are. Mm-hmm. And even if it seems like they try to be like you're coming across cocky, it is what it is. It really is what it is. Are you okay? Cool. All right, that's great. And we move. You know.
Mae, what about you?
I mean, I would just be like, do you know what? Like, you are actually more than enough. You don't have to be trying to please X, Y, and Z and trying to, you know, like putting so much of like your self-worth on other people. It's like, no, honey, you're good. Just like stick to your message, and like you know, you'll be good. And just stop doubting yourself all the time, because I think it's really easy to do that. Like, you got this.
There's a Mary J. Blige song called Doubt, which was so useful to me. I think I heard it when I was like 16, 17. And it's this chorus, so she goes like, I'm I made it to the end. I made it to the top. I lost a lot of friends. I sacrificed a lot, and I do it all again because I made it to the top, and I can't keep doubting myself. And I just feel like it really encapsulates a lot of this conversation. And I would just send anyone to that song.
Mae Muller, Alical Harley, Dodie, Jade Bird, and Maisie Peters. It has been enlightening. I am so, so grateful for your time today and for your stories, your experiences, your perspectives. You're incredible. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Love.
So fun.
Well, do you guys out there agree with the points raised? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for more info on our amazing artists, you can check out their social media pages in the links below. Bye for now.